This is just what I needed. A vacation. I work very hard, 7 days of the week. Trust me when I say overtime could very well be my middle name. As I look over the water and sip on my wine, I can think of nothing more peaceful. Even though I came here alone, it doesn't seem to affect me that much. Excuse me. Hello. Sorry to bother you. Is anyone sitting here? I look up and notice a tall, slim, redhead woman pointing to the seat right next to me. Do you mind if I sit here? Of course not. My apologies. Yes, no one is sitting here. Okay, thank you. What is your name, by the way? Oh, I'm Talia. Nice to meet you, Talia. I'm Corinne. Nice to meet you too, Corinne. There you are. Here's your drink, babe, says a tall, heavenly-looking specimen of a man. Corinne stands up and greets him with a salaciously deep kiss. Thank you. I just decided to come sit by the pool for a little bit. Other than Talia here, whom I just met, it's just us. So peaceful, right? She raises her glass to toast to him. He nods and says, agreed. He takes a seat right next to her and sips his drink and pans his attention towards the ocean and the sunset. The sunset in the water gives the perfect romantic backdrop for any couple vacationing here. I try not to stare as Corinne starts to caress and kiss his neck. For some strange reason, I cannot look away. She runs her tongue up and down his neck softly, sucking on it, causing him to let out a low moan. She brings her mouth back to his, frantically kissing him. He reaches down between her legs, moving her bathing suit to the side, and starts rubbing her sex. He starts gliding his fingers in and out of her. He knew her body so well because her moans were nothing compared to the glossy wetness dripping from his fingers. He suddenly pulls his fingers out of her. He then pushes her down on the lawn chair and spreads her legs wide. She turns her head and stares directly at me. He pauses and then glances at me as well. I cannot say anything. Out of all the words I know, nothing came out. She bites her lip and then winks at me. He smiles and then starts devouring her. Her moans start to get so loud that he bends her legs back further so he could reach his hand to her mouth to try and cover it. Failing, he slightly lifts his head to make eye contact with me and says, "Come, gag her." I stop breathing for a moment. I cannot believe what he just asked me to do. He continues, "However you like to." I'm so nervous, but yet so turned on. I have never experienced something so erotic, especially with another couple. I slowly take my bathing suit bottoms off, and I tell her to open her mouth. I put them in, then I covered her mouth with my hand. I nodded to her mate to continue, and so he does. He frantically swirls his tongue on her sex, immediately bringing her to her climax. Do not be mistaken. There was a lot of water surrounding us for miles, but there was nothing wetter than her or me They slowly get up. Corinne is the first to speak. Thank you so much. That was one of the most erotic and satisfying things I've ever done. And pleasing my husband is my main goal. We are going back to our suite over on the other side. You have a lovely, lovely night. As I walk back to my suite, dripping wet and not from the pool, I can not help but picture them